After 70, sitting feels harmless. It feels earned. You sit to rest your legs, to enjoy a meal, to watch the news, to talk to someone you love. Nothing about sitting feels dangerous, and that is exactly why it quietly becomes one of the strongest forces, weakening your legs every single day without you noticing. What most people over 70 don't realize is that it's not age that slowly steals leg strength. It's not time passing. It's not even lack of exercise in the way most people imagine. It's the way the body adapts to how you sit, how long you stay there, and how your legs learn to stop participating in everyday life. And once that pattern settles in, the legs don't suddenly fail. They slowly forget how to work. Think about how you sit right now. The chair is probably low and soft. Your hips sink back. Your lower back rounds. Your knees sit higher than your hips or spread outward slightly. Your feet drift forward. Your body relaxes, but your legs switch off. The muscles that once helped you stand, climb, balance, and catch yourself when you stumbled are no longer being asked to do anything. They're just passengers. At first, nothing feels different. You stand up just fine. You walk across the room. You go about your day. But something subtle begins to change. Standing up takes a moment longer. You push off the armrests without thinking. You feel steady once you're moving, but the start feels heavier. And because it happens gradually, you assume it's just normal aging. It's not. The body is incredibly efficient. It keeps what it uses and lets go of what it doesn't. When you sit in a way that removes work from your legs, your body learns that those muscles are optional. Over time, they shrink, they slow down, and they lose their quick response. Not because you're weak, but because you've been teaching them to rest too deeply, too often, for too long. The most damaging part isn't even the sitting itself. It's how long you stay there without interruption. Hours can pass without you standing up fully, without straightening your hips, without letting your legs feel your full body weight. And every minute like that sends the same message to your body. These muscles aren't needed right now. One of the quietest changes happens around the hips. The muscles that help you step forward, lift your foot, and keep your balance are designed to work when you stand tall. When you sit slouched or sunk into a chair, those muscles stay in a shortened, inactive position. Day after day, they forget how to fully engage. Then one day, you notice that your stride feels shorter. Your feet don't lift as high. You shuffle just a little. Not enough to alarm you, but enough to change how you move through space. Balance doesn't disappear suddenly. It fades. And it fades fastest when your legs stop receiving clear signals from the ground. When you sit with your feet barely touching the floor or stretched far forward, the connection between your brain and your legs weakens. Standing becomes something you prepare for instead of something you simply do. Many people think the danger begins when walking becomes difficult. In reality, it begins much earlier, in the chair you use every day, in the way you collapse into it at night, in the way you remain there longer because it feels comfortable and safe. Comfort, in this case, slowly replaces strength. There's a reason people often fall not while walking, but while standing up, turning, or taking the first step. Those moments require leg muscles to wake up instantly. If they've been resting for hours in a passive position, they respond more slowly. The body hesitates. The timing is off. And that's when instability appears. What makes this especially frustrating is that many older adults are still active in their minds. They feel capable. They feel sharp. They don't see themselves as fragile. And they're right. The problem isn't who they are. It's the environment their body spends most of the day in. Chairs today are designed for sinking, not supporting. They invite you to relax completely, to melt into them. That design might feel kind, but it removes the natural tension your body needs to stay strong. When the chair does all the holding, your legs stop doing their part. You may have noticed that getting up from certain chairs feels much harder than others. Low couches, deep recliners, soft seats that hug your hips. Those chairs train your legs to rely on momentum and arm strength instead of leg power. Over time, standing becomes a coordinated effort instead of a natural reflex. The danger is not immediate. It's cumulative. A little less strength today, a little less stability next month, a little more caution when moving, and slowly, life begins to shrink. You choose the easier path. You avoid stairs when possible. You hesitate before getting up. you plan your movements. None of this feels dramatic. That's why it's so easy to ignore. But the body keeps records. It remembers every hour spent sitting with legs disengaged. It adjusts accordingly. There's also circulation to consider, though few people connect it to sitting posture. When your legs stay bent and still for long periods, blood flow slows. The muscles don't receive the same nourishment. They feel heavy when you stand, sometimes stiff, sometimes unresponsive. You might shake it off and move on, but the pattern repeats every day. And then there's the mental side. When standing feels effortful, you begin to anticipate difficulty. You rise more cautiously. You grip furniture. You hesitate. That hesitation feeds back into the body, reinforcing the idea that standing is risky. Confidence fades quietly, just like strength. The truth is, your legs don't need intense workouts to stay strong. They need regular reminders that they matter. They need to feel your weight. They need to push, stabilize, and respond. Sitting the wrong way all day steals those opportunities. This is why some people who rarely exercise still maintain decent leg strength, while others who walk occasionally still feel weak. It's not about isolated activity. It's about what your legs are doing for most of the day. If sitting dominates your hours, it dominates your outcomes. The most powerful change doesn't come from forcing yourself to move more in exhausting ways. It comes from changing how your body rests. When sitting becomes more active, more upright, more connected, your legs stay engaged even while resting. They stay awake. When your feet are flat on the floor, your hips slightly higher than your knees, and your body upright, your legs maintain gentle tension. They're not straining, but they're participating. This small difference, repeated daily, can slow down the weakening process more than you might expect. Standing up more often, even briefly, sends a strong signal to your nervous system. It reminds your body that these muscles are still needed. It restores confidence. It keeps movements fluid. This isn't about never sitting. Sitting is part of life. It's about not disappearing into the chair. It's about staying present in your body, even during rest. Your legs are not meant to be folded away for hours at a time. Many people over 70 feel surprised when they realize how much sitting has shaped their strength. They didn't feel lazy. They didn't feel inactive. They simply lived normally. But modern life encourages long periods of stillness, and the body adapts whether we notice or not. The good news is that the same adaptability works in your favor. Small changes create real results when they're consistent. The body responds quickly to being invited back into action. If this idea resonates with you, if you've felt that subtle heaviness or hesitation without knowing why, you're not alone, and you're not stuck. Awareness is the first step toward control. This is why conversations like this matter, why understanding these invisible habits matters. If you found yourself nodding along, take a moment to support this kind of clarity. Liking the video tells others this message is worth hearing. Subscribing keeps these insights coming, helping you stay informed and in charge of how your body ages. And sharing your experience in the comments helps others realize they're not imagining these changes. Your legs have carried you for decades. They haven't given up. They've just been waiting for a reason to stay involved. And that reason can start today. Not with effort or fear, but with awareness, choice, and the way you sit down and stand back up again. And here is something important that almost no one tells you. The weakening doesn't happen because your legs are tired. It happens because they are bored. They are underused, understimulated, and slowly removed from daily decision making. Your body stops asking them for help because it has learned that sitting will do the job instead. That's why people often say, "I don't know when this started." There was no single moment, no injury, no warning sign, just a slow agreement between the body and the chair that standing could wait. Pay attention to how often you delay standing, not because you can't, but because you don't feel like it yet. That delay is where strength quietly leaks away. The legs thrive on frequent, ordinary use, not heroic effort, just honest participation in life. Even waiting an extra minute before standing sends a message. Staying seated through commercials, staying seated while talking on the phone, staying seated because everything you need is within arm's reach. Convenience slowly replaces necessity, and necessity is what keeps muscles alive. What's ironic is that many people feel more tired the more they sit. The legs feel heavy, the body feels sluggish, and the natural response is to sit even more. It feels logical, but it deepens the cycle. Movement restores energy, stillness drains it. You might notice that on days when you get up more often, even briefly, your legs feel lighter, your steps feel smoother, your posture feels taller. That's not coincidence. That's your body responding to being included again. Strength after 70 is less about building and more about preserving. Preserving signals, preserving habits, preserving confidence. And confidence lives in small moments, like standing up without thinking, walking without planning, moving without negotiation. This is not about fighting age. It's about not surrendering to patterns that don't serve you. Chairs are tools. They should support you, not replace you. If this message made you look differently at the way you sit, that awareness alone is powerful. And if you want more of this kind of practical clarity, staying connected matters. Liking this video helps it reach people who need to hear it. Subscribing keeps these conversations coming, helping you stay one step ahead instead of reacting too late. And if you've noticed changes in your legs that you couldn't explain, sharing that in the comments might help someone else feel understood. Your legs are still listening. Every time you stand, they respond. Every time you sit with intention, they stay involved. Aging doesn't take strength away overnight. It fades when we stop asking for it. And the good news is, you can start asking again today in the most ordinary moments of your life.